When Karen came back on the show, season 5, did you think that like you and her were gonna beef the way you guys did? Like, were you shocked? Were you taken back?
No, there's a backstory to that. I was fucking livid. I was so pissed off at this woman. I never, to be honest with you, I didn't really know anything about Karen or anything like, and I didn't know shit. Like London told me about like the whole history and blah blah blah. So I'm just getting information from other people about who's who and what's what. I remember one night, London and I, we were out with a bunch of friends. We were having a great time. We were out at this after hours, and I'm having such a fun time. We're having a great fucking day. All of a sudden, London, I'm sitting down, London's standing in front of me. I see him, like his stance just got weird. And I'm like, what the fuck's happening? And then I see him like getting ready to ball up his fist. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Because now I have the bottom view. I have his ass. I see his ass, his arms. I see the way he's standing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So then after I found out what happened, after we left the club, he told me that Storm, who was Karen's ex-boyfriend, that was him, and came up to him and was threatening like me and him, like, oh, she needs to lay off of Twitter, and why is she talking shit about my girlfriend? Do you know who I am? Like, we're gonna fuck you up, like threatening me. And London's like, you're not, I need to talk to her. He's like, you're not talking to nobody.
This was going into like season 5?
This was I don't even think season 5 was even announced yet, to be honest with you. This happened like way before we started filming. So that just like pissed me off. Like, why are you sending someone after me when we're not even filming? I don't even think
she wasn't even on the show yet.
Rumor. I don't even think she was on the show yet. I don't even think she signed any paperwork at that point. But
well, she wasn't back on the show.
Well, okay. So, okay. I gotta be honest, I'm thinking back. I don't remember exactly if she was signed on or she was definitely coming back for season 5, right? So you're saying that between season 4 and 5, this happened, right?
Yeah, season 4 was already done. Season 4 was already wrapped up. It was already, I think it was already even done airing, or yeah, I think it was done airing already. I'm not sure. It was so long ago, but yeah.
But on Twitter, if I remember correctly, on Twitter, first of all, was our biggest antagonist.
Yeah.
Twitter made just same thing we were just saying before. So while you guys are on camera, you're thinking about what the world is thinking about you. Oh, South Philly is going to think I'm a pussy if I don't swing on Renee, or Renee is going to think. So then we air the episodes and Twitter's like, oh shit, Natalie should have punched Renee in the face. Oh shit, Renee, you should have. So then Twitter becomes a bigger antagonist, right? So there were times that I remember that everyone was talking about each other on Twitter, and then there was a Karen conversation that may or may not have come up with you guys, and that's what you're referencing. Before.
Oh, so yeah, I think there was a tweet out. I didn't write it. It was I think I commented on it, or I repost some shit, and then I think Karen said something like, oh, who's this girl, or something like that. And I probably cursed her out because I was hot-headed. So yeah, so then after that, when I had went out, I guess I seen her, well, her boyfriend seen it was us, and then try to like talk to London, but in the same time was like kind of like threatening us in a way. Well, I felt threatened. And I just kind of like brought that on the show as like fuel. Cause I'm not that type of person where I can fight with someone if I don't have it. If I don't have nothing to fight with you about, what the fuck am I going to fight with you about? So that was what I had fueled. So when I seen her, I just fucking went off because I was pissed off about that fucking night. And then I didn't really know much about her anyway. So I was just throwing in her face everything that I heard. And it kind of like went like that.
Got it.
The rest is in
and then on
5.
top of that, and then on top of that, fucking, you know, I used to get mad at London because he would never do or say anything on the show, which I know why he didn't. He didn't want to be like the bad guy. Like he just wanted to be like, he didn't want to have that publicity, I guess.
He was like, babe,
So I used
you need to straighten it out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Just a nice guy.
I'm like, I used to fight with him when we would come home. Like, why are you acting like that? Be yourself. What the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not stooping down to anyone's level. I'm like, okay, fine.
I'll do it for both of us. I'll do
Fine,
it for both
I got
of us.
It's like, I was like my one-man army. I was like, all right, whatever.
You know what's so funny? I literally had a question for you. I wrote, did you in London ever have any disagreements about how you handled situations on the show? Because he seemed to be like the voice of reason, and you were like the attack pit bull that was like, fuck you. I'm just going to do it the way I need to do it.
Actually, after that scene, when we finished that scene, oh my God, he's such an idiot. After we filmed that scene, we drove off and he just started dying laughing. He was like, that was fucking great. He goes, that was amazing.
Know something? I feel like London was there to make TV. Like, London was there to do the show and like kind of have the attitude that like, all right, this is the show, and then we got to disassociate from it.
I agree with that.
Because like that's probably the way like a man would think in that type of situation, you know?
These women can never
Differentiate the two.
the real from the TV, because what was going on TV was about their real experiences and
Correct.
their real lives. The men were okay over there, especially London, who was not a typical mob guy, right? So he can really dissociate. The girls lived this their whole lives, and it was hard, and I get it. It was hard, but London, London did good. He was just like, okay, we're gonna do this for TV. We're gonna play it however.
Meanwhile, I'm like pissed off because, like I told you, I have episodes where I'm like crying or pissed off, and like that day after that scene when we drove off, and he just starts laughing. He's like, "That was fucking great. That was fucking perfect for TV." Blah blah. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, why didn't you fucking say or do anything? He was just hysterical laughing. And then he looks at me and he goes, babe, do you understand? He's like, they can't use what you don't give them. So it's like, he did give me that advice that night. And then, I don't know, Jen, if you like realized, but like after that night, like I calmed down. Like I did calm down. I was like, you know what? He's right. They can't use what I don't give them. So I had to I calmed down a little bit. So that's one little phrase that he said to me. Yeah, so that for me was like, oh, because again, you don't really realize what you're getting into when you do it. Like you kind of, when you're filming, you kind of have tunnel vision. You're going off your fucking feelings. You're going off because there's a camera in front of your face. Like you need it. He was good because he was that middle voice that was like, hey, they can't use what you don't give them. I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. I'm going to go with that for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that's when like Natalie popped in, and I'm like, who the fuck, that blew me away. I'm like, who the fuck is this fucking psychotic bitch? Like I had to call people like I went to school with. I'm like, do you know this girl? Like who the fuck is she? Everyone said she was insane. She was crazy.
Isn't she like
she's a psycho?
Now or something like that? Natalie G's a boxer.
She was boxing back then. So in the gym, right? And then but she did do that that Atlantic City celebrity boxing thing.
She's a celebrity?
This is why everybody likes Rob.
That was like after.
All right. On the topic of London, let us know. Are you and London still together? What's like the current state of your relationship?
We're still together. I mean, we did break up for a little bit. Like, whatever.
Thank you.
It's like you broke up, but you didn't really break up, but you broke up, kind of a thing. Like,
we were on a break.
No, I remember you wrote me. No, you wrote me once. We don't have to put this on the pod if you don't want to. But I remember you like, he lives across the hall from me. Yeah, like
I was across the street.
Across the street. I'm saying to myself, how does that work? And how like, do you want to talk about that or not?
Yeah. You know what? It was. People don't understand too. I was friends with him before him and I ever got together. So we have a friendship. So before a relationship is friendship. And at the end of the day, I understand where he comes from with things. And I know that he said before, like he's never really lived on his own. like had his own spot, either, you know, had roommates, because that's what you do in New York. Like you have roommates. So he never had an opportunity to live on his own. So he just decided the day we had a fucking argument that he was going to do that. So that's what he did. You know, it was hard at first. Like it was like, I was upset, and, you know, he went through a stage where it was like, I'm in control now. Cause he used to always throw mob wise in my face too, where it's like, I was always there for you. I went to every fucking filming. I did this, which is true. So he put it to like, I did everything for you and never for me, kind of a thing, which I understood that. But I also said too, I was like, I never asked you to do it. You did it on your own. So that's where like that bumping heads came in. Like I didn't ask him to do it. It's a difference if I purposely made my lover do everything I wanted him to do. So I got to a point where it was like,
were they ever on couples therapy?
No.
What?
You should have been. You should have been.
When I called you and you told me about this, I think I was calling you about another show, right? And yeah. And you were like, I don't know, Jenny lives across the street. I'm like going to myself, what? I'm like, and you're together, but you're broken up and you live across the street from each other. I found that very interesting. But I do respect the fact that I feel like you're very much like me. You understand things, and then you can put it in a box and in a perspective, and then go accordingly. So
yeah, that's like, I never once like doubted that he didn't love me or anything. I knew he loved me. He was just going through a phase. I kind of understood it. And then, you know, the woman part of me was like, no, come back home. Let's make it work. Let's make it work. But it eventually worked. It kind of worked itself out, because there was a point where I was like, all right, I'm just going to end this. And I think he felt that. And then he started telling everybody, hey, we're moving back in. I was like, oh, hard. I was like, okay. And then we moved back in, and then that was the time when my mom was real sick, and we just started like, and I was going through my own therapy with myself. We were just like bumping heads a lot. That was like the first year when we moved back in. So now everything's fine now. I think we had to work through that. Like we had to like come to an understanding to where we're both going through shit, and we kind of have to let that person go through it, but be there.
You guys could go through it together rather than go through it apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's realizing now to go together with it instead of blocking me out like men do.
But
like,
it's respectful that you gave him a chance to go through it by himself.
What's London's sign?
He's a Libra.
Oh, a Libra.
I'm a Libra too. We're the best.
I wouldn't go that far.
The best.
So Natalie, catch us up. What's going on with your life now? Like, where are you at? I know you have your own hair and makeup, right? You're a makeup artist in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your new business. What do you do?
So like after my dad passed away, like I said, I had to figure out my life, and I decided like, you know, I'm just gonna go heavy into my makeup. That's when I opened up my makeup brand. I started focusing on that. You know, after I left the funeral home, I went back into bartending in New York like full time. I actually enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So I would do that to like support my, you know, my brand and support, you know, whatever else I needed to support, and just build it from there. When I moved to Florida, there was nothing open like in New York anywhere. So I couldn't do hair. I couldn't bartend. I couldn't do anything that I knew how to do. Even if I wanted to get back on TV, there was nobody filming. Everything was dead because of COVID.
Everything was shut down.
Yeah, so in my building, I would put out pamphlets. I was doing the hair and makeup in the building before I left. And that August, I heard the schools weren't opening. I was like, fuck this, I'm going to Florida. Moved to Florida 5 months into the pandemic, and I sold everything in Philly. Like I completely like gave up on everything. My dad's not here anymore. You know, I was like, I'm done. I didn't even tell my mom I moved. I sold everything and I left. She found out like 2 months later. She called me up. She's like, so how's Florida? I'm like, hey. But
sounds like something I would do.
She's like, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, I didn't fucking feel like hearing you scream at me. So
yeah,
that's what I had to like, you know, the first year here, you're giving up your whole life. You don't know what the hell you're doing. So
You're
I took
starting
like a whole
over.
year off of shit. I took a year off of just like trying to figure out life, getting like situated here in Miami. And then I started working. I started bartending again. I got the job at the 11 nightclub. So I've been there for like 4 years now.
Very good
And
chicken
now
fingers at 11.
What is it?
I said very good chicken fingers at 11.
Oh, they are good. They're good.
I'm
I just
done.
got I just got a promotion now, so I'm no longer bartending. I'm hosting. I'm VIP host.
Period.
So I'm excited for that.
Now we know who we're
It's an
calling when we're in
journey.
Miami.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So now when it comes to Miami, I have to hit you up to get into 11.
For real.
I got you. Just come on in. I still do my hair and makeup. I just got my little salon set up. Like
Wow.
my little
love it.
salon here.
Listen, it's 2024.
Yeah.
You have to have multiple streams of
Ah,
income.
God, yes.
You know?
I just
One
enjoy
thing just
doing it
doesn't cut
too.
it.
Like I always enjoyed doing hair and makeup. It's something I always done, and I learned, for when I was filming on the show, it's like you kind of like give up your life. You give up everything. You give up like all your things that you used to do, and I gave it up for a little bit longer after that, just because of the my father passing, the funeral home, and I just turned around one day and I'm like, why am I letting like what I love to do just like go to waste? I just started, doing
Yeah.
it again. So past couple years, been doing like my clients now, trying to build back up over here. So yeah, it's been fun. I'm
Awesome.
just taking every day as it goes now. Like I'm not really planning much for anything. I'm just seeing what happens, making the best out of it.
Amazing.
Love
Amazing.
that.
I do want to say one thing. I remember the show I called you about, and it was a relationship show. And you
Oh,
and
yeah.
London, it was nice because you and London both said, you know what, we'd love to be back on TV, but we're not willing to put our relationship at risk. And we think that this show would not be good for us. And that was great. And that was when you
Yeah.
first moved back in together. So
And I did try to talk him into it too after that. I'm like, come on, we'll just do it. It'll be fun. We know what we got. And he was like, no.
same
Like,
roles
no.
reversed.
I'm like,
He used to
okay.
do
Wow,
that to you.
very Libra.
Very Libra, Mr.
Very
London.
Libra.
Yeah, that was funny.
Hey, it's Real Raw Pet from Straightened Out. Have you ever just stood in front of the fridge, completely uninspired about what to cook? Or maybe the idea of grocery shopping after a long day feels like the last thing you want to do? Trust me, I've been there. And that's why I'm excited to share my secret weapon, HelloFresh. With my busy schedule, finding the time to plan elaborate meals or hunt down specialty ingredients just isn't realistic. But with HelloFresh, I don't have to. They make it easy by delivering fresh, pre-measured ingredients and easy-to-follow recipes straight to my doorstep. The first time I tried HelloFresh, I made a creamy mushroom pasta that was to die for. The step-by-step recipe made it simple. In under 30 minutes, I was sitting down to a meal that was bursting with flavor, and the cleanup was a breeze. It made me realize that weeknight dinners could be gourmet without the hassle. No more stressing over what to cook. I'm officially hooked. Whether you're looking to save time, try out new dishes, or just make your weeknight simpler, HelloFresh has you covered. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit, and with the holidays right around the corner, we all need ways to spend less, stress less, and keep mealtime simple. HelloFresh makes it easy with chef-crafted recipes that come together quickly and cost less than takeout. It's the perfect way to take the stress out of meal prep and make your holiday traditions even more special. And if you're looking for a little something extra, HelloFresh Market has over 100 add-on items like desserts, quick breakfast, snacks, and even Thanksgiving essentials to help you wow a crowd with minimal effort. Trust me, no one has to know how easy it was. So what are you waiting for? Give it a try and transform the way you cook. It's a game changer. Here's the deal. Get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free straightened out. Applied across 7 boxes, new subscribers only, varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/free straightened out. Trust me, you'll love it. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. All right, Natalie and Antonia, listen, you guys are both in the beauty industry.
Yeah.
You both have followings on Instagram. Natalie's a knockout. Antonia, you're a knockout. Jen, you're a knockout. Natalie, we have
just
this
said that 'cause I'm
new...
sitting here.
We have this new thing for the podcast, right? So we have people that write in that want to straighten something out. And I think you are perfect to straighten this fan submission out, okay? It's from one of our followers who goes by Tri-State Teresa. Follow along because I know you're gonna give it to them the right way.
Okay.
She wrote in and said, I have a friend who edits her pictures for social media, and they are extremely obviously edited photos. I brought it up to her before that she doesn't need to alter her photos because she is naturally pretty, and she got extremely defensive and upset with me. Everyone, and I mean everyone, says something to me about the photos because I'm her friend. When I say they're altered, I mean she's making obvious edits, altering her looks from her face to her waist. They're making fun of her because these photos are crazily altered. It also is extremely cringe to be close to someone who alters their pictures to become non-recognizable. Straightened Out Podcast, help me straighten this shit out.
What's your thoughts on that?
I mean,
Are you speechless? Are you speechless?
a little, but you know what? It is what it is. People are gonna do what they want to do. I mean,
Okay, is it okay to edit your pictures to unrecognizability?
Listen, here's the thing. I'm friends with a bunch of shapeshifters. I say if that's what you want your social media presence to be, if you want to be known as the shape-shifting, body-morphing Coke bottle bitch on social media, do you. I know me. I'm giving you the real raw. If I have a pimple, I'm posting.
That rosacea.
Like,
No,
it is what it is.
I'm the first one to admit I love a good face app. I love a good face tune. I love a good little, you got to spruce something up a little bit. But you have to do it tastefully.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta do
that
it.
some people take it to such an extreme and it's like so blatantly noticeable. And like, if I ever edit a picture that's that crazy, like I want someone to tell me because I don't want to be clocked.
Right.
Because if my friends are seeing it, then the people on social media are seeing it. And now I'm like, mortified.
Like if you're missing an arm.
So like if my friends is telling me like, bitch, you look crazy, I'm taking the picture down. I'm never gonna argue it. I'm just gonna take it down and be like, okay, that was
I
a
just
little
won't
much.
put the picture up. If I don't like it, it's not going up. I'm not going to alter it to the point of oblivion. Like I've seen people missing arms, missing like half. They got 3 legs. It's like stop.
Nah, but it's weird.
My thing is this: if you're gonna edit your pictures and completely change everything about you, at least make sure it's done right.
Right.
Like make sure there are no fucking waves in the wall. Make sure
Exactly.
you have 5 fingers instead of 10 on one
Exactly.
hand.
Yes.
Like do it right. So I mean, people are gonna know that you've done it, but just do it right, because if you do it right, then people are gonna be like, hey, can you edit my pictures?
Right.
Exactly.
You know?
I am the queen of editing my friends' pictures. They will always send the picture to me. I will always edit that shit. And there was somebody that used to send their pictures to me to edit it all the time, and we're no longer friends. And now she edits her own pictures, and that bitch looks crazy.
Which
That bitch looks crazy.
I don't know who it is.
No, we'll talk about it later. So I'm sure she's really missing the friendship because now she's being clocked all over,
Well,
all over
I
the place.
send my pictures to her or my friend Dave, and they don't make me look nuts. They just make me look smooth, or
just like a little
blush, because I don't wear makeup.
or like a little something.
At this age, I probably need it, so they slap a little blush, a little lip gloss.
Sometimes
on,
the
it's time to
belly's
go.
bulging a little too
Even
much.
if-
We need to.
Even if you take your pictures with the best of camera, like it's gonna pick up every single flaw.
Yep.
Even if you have a photo shoot, it's gonna pick up every single flaw, and it's the flaws that when you look in the mirror, you don't see that.
Yeah.
No one sees that, but the camera picked it up. So a little bit of editing, I feel like is okay, but just for me, I hardly take pictures because I hate the way the fucking selfie camera makes my face look for some reason. It looks like this, like tiny. I don't know what it is with the selfie camera. I don't take pictures like that because I feel like it doesn't really show who I am. It doesn't look like me. So I don't take pictures. But if I do very, very small little edits. Like if I have a pimple, I take it away.
Well, you
know
don't
what I
need
mean?
much
Like
editing.
some small.
You don't need much editing.
Oh, thanks.
You're a
You're a
knockout.
bitch.
Listen to me, Natalie.
You're a whore.
Natalie, we're all around the same age. Don't you remember 15, 16 short years ago, we had the fucking digital camera. We took the picture and it went straight to Facebook.
No, literally.
Yeah, we
As a
didn't care.
society, we've
What?
come to the place
I don't
where, like I said, our age. You got slighted. You got slighted on the
You
Facebook
had to wait for
era.
it to get developed at
You
Genevieve,
had to
okay?
wait.
Okay,
It's
whatever.
it. No, listen, we are not age shamers on this podcast. I lied
clearly
about
you
my
are.
age. I am Gen Z. I just feel like as a society, it's sad that everyone feels like they have to edit their pictures. Like, I wish it would just be more like natural. Like, here's the picture. This is what I look like. Take it or leave it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think there's nothing wrong with a tasteful editing, but when you start to look so wacky, it's like, do you ever think to yourself, these people are going to see you in person one day?
Right, but
like,
there
and
are-
now you're going to be even more mortified.
Okay, but I look better in person, I think, than I do in some pictures.
Yeah, but if
So
you're
it's like-
editing yourself to a point where you don't look the same in person.
I just won't post that picture.
Yeah,
because if I
crazy.
feel like I know if I'm gonna like see somebody out and I look better, I'd rather just go outside than put it up and look like a fucking horrendous person. I just I don't know.
All I have to say is stop shape shifting in 2025.
Well, what people don't understand either, that face app, everyone has the same face.
Yeah,
with that
Hollywood
face
4.
app.
It's literally
Hollywood
Hollywood
4. Hollywood 4.
It is a cookie cutter fucking face. Yes.
I just put a tan on. I can't
Hollywood
move
4.
it.
You can tell everyone has the same shit.
Same
shit.
shit, the eyebrows, the lips, it's everything.
The shading
That
on the
shit is funny,
eyelid,
though.
the shading on the cheek.
And the
Listen to me.
cheeks.
Listen to me. I'm
Renee
gonna
gets her
do.
cheeks all the time.
I'm gonna do a social experiment, Antonia. I'm gonna need your help. After we're wrap this up, okay? We're gonna take a picture of me and we're gonna put Hollywood 4 on me and we're gonna post it. And I want to see how many likes I get.
We can't
I
put-
want to see how many likes I get with the Hollywood 4.
No, but I don't think we could do Hollywood 4 on you.
Why? Because I wear glasses.
No, because you're a guy. Hollywood 4 is not the guy option.
All right, so then just give me the guy version
Don't
of
they
Hollywood
have-
4.
It's called handsome.
Don't they have Hollywood 4 for the guy? I think they do.
They do?
Handsome.
No?
It's called handsome.
I don't know. We're gonna
apparently.
see. Oh, I'll fucking
Yeah.
pee myself if there's a man's Hollywood 4. This is hilarious.
Okay.
We're so doing this.
You could put a beard on him and everything.
Oh, that? Yes, you can. Oh
Yeah.
my god, let's give you a beard. I want you with a chin strap.
I want a lumberjack beard.
I want you with a tape up.
They have it.
Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. Listen, if you're anything like me, your days are long, your nights are even longer, and somewhere in between, you've got to show up looking your best. I've spent years in the entertainment business, so trust me, I know a thing or two about hiding a little fatigue. But let's be real, there's only so much makeup you can do when your skin's not on your side. That's why I started using OneSkin, and honestly, it's been a game changer. I use their face moisturizer and eye starter kit, and let me tell you, the results are real. My skin feels smoother, healthier, and has this glow I haven't seen in years. Like I've been sneaking in 8 hours of sleep every night. Spoiler, I haven't. I'll never forget the first morning I looked in the mirror after a few weeks of using it. The dullness and fine lines that used to greet me were noticeably reduced now. I'm hooked. I know what you're probably thinking. What makes this product so special? Well, let me break it down to you. OneSkin doesn't just cover up problems, it actually targets them. Their OS1 peptide is a little fountain of youth for your skin. It helps reverse aging at the biological level, so you're not just looking better, your skin is actually getting healthier. I'm not kidding when I say I feel younger. This stuff is the real deal. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company, and they target skin health at the molecular level, addressing the root causes of aging so your skin feels, behaves, and looks younger. So get started on your new face, eye, and body routine care at a special discount today. Get 15% off with code MOBWIVES at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code MOBWIVES. After you buy, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show by telling them we sent you. Remember, we only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin.
That's iconic, actually.
Okay, wait. Before we go, I want to straighten. We have to straighten something out, right?
Okay.
We just did.
No, well, we straightened out Rob's version of Hollywood 4.
No, we straightened out a fan submission. Tri-State Teresa.
Tri-State Teresa,
Thank you,
for
Teresa,
writing
for showing
in.
love.
Yes, and I hope we clear everything up for you. Do not edit your photos. I think was the final concession, no?
I guess. Or edit them a little to the point of where...
Teresa, let's straighten it out. Drop your shape-shifting, friend. That's what I would do.
I mean, period.
Oh, so Teresa's not the one that puts the stuff
No,
on. She's
Tri-State
talking-
Teresa
God,
is friends with
talking
the
about her
shapeshifter.
Oh, yeah. Tell her to stop doing it. But on the show, right? You got thrown out of a party. I can't even remember what party this is, right? So
Wasn't it Renee's party when they said Natalie brought people? Wasn't it like Renee's party that they asked you to leave?
Yeah. So yeah.
tell us about that.
She goes, yeah, so yeah, so
I love the accent from Philly that she did not lose yet.
The behind the scenes from that is I had trusted Drita, and Drita would call me all the time talking shit about everything. And we would talk shit about the girl Natalie, whatever. I forget what happened. I told her, I was like, I think I brought it up. I'm like, you know what? This is like so sketchy. Like, why am I going to this party and this girl's going to be there? Because this is going to be like the first time like I would face the girl. And I said, you know what? It sounds like a setup, like I'm gonna get jumped or something. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna have my friends come. And my friends had filmed before, so it's not like their first time filming on the show. But I had told Drita, I said, yo, I'm bringing my friends too. Like, I'm not coming there just me in London and have everyone against me, and then it's a big fucking jumping brawl, and I'm the one in the middle of the floor getting beat up by 20 girls. I was like, it's not gonna happen. So when I seen the filming, I saw that Drita was the one that went up and was like, hey, who are those people? So she's the one that kind of like, I guess, alerted everyone about that. During the scene, that would have been a great scene though. But that was like the first time like London ever like stood up for me on camera. Like he got up and he was like, the producers came up, they were like, listen, we don't know who these friends are, they have to leave. And London's like, no, they're not leaving. He was like, no, they have to leave, they're not supposed to be here. And London's like, no, they're not leaving, we'll all leave. He's like, no, she can't leave. He's like, listen, now you're forcing us to fight, we're done, we're leaving. He's like, babe, get up. I got up, all my friends got up at the same time, and we left. And that was it.
So like, going into the scene, Drita knew you were bringing people with you just as like support, God forbid something went down. And then on camera, when the show aired, you saw that she was the one who went to everyone and said like, oh, look who Natalie brought. Why'd she bring her crew with her?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, did producers have Drita do that, or should that on her own accord?
Well, let me just say this. I do remember now what we're talking about. We were in a restaurant, right? It was a restaurant scene. It was the night that the audio got supposedly released, right? Is that what we're talking about?
No. This was Renee was having a party with like
mad people in a restaurant
party or some shit.
No,
it was a restaurant, right?
Yeah,
we're talking about a restaurant.
It was a restaurant. Yeah.
This wasn't when the supposed tape was getting released.
With what? With my ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
I think.
What tape?
I don't know. I think that was like the scene before.
Okay, so this wasn't it. Okay, so let's stay on topic. So, what was the question?
What tape are you talking about?
There was a tape that Nat D was trying to say that Nat G was on ratting on her boyfriend. Right? Is that how it went down?
Yeah, that's what she was trying to do, yeah.
And did this ever make the show?
You're asking someone who has the worst memory of the face of the earth, which
Natalie,
is
did that ever make the show or no?
I think so.
I don't remember that.
No, it did not. Because it did not, and I'll tell you why. Because in New York, or whatever state that was recorded was not allowed because you have to have consent from both parties. So we could never introduce the tape to the show, but Nat D played it out behind the scenes in the press to try to discredit Nat G.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that was the gist. Now I remember everything. So that was the gist as to what Nat D was trying to make her walk into. And then from what she's saying is Drita was like playing behind the scenes telling her X, Y, and Z. And then she felt a certain type of way. So she brought a crew with her just in case.
Just in case, yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Drita after that night? Did you continue to talk to her behind the scenes, or that was like the last night you guys ever spoke?
Never spoke to her again after that, because then it all made sense to me. I'm like, oh, she's the one. She's the rat in the crew. Okay. So, yeah.
Now it all makes sense. That's what then started your shit with Drita, and That's how the way season 5 had played out.
Yeah,
Wow.
basically.
Wow. See, we're straightening it
crazy.
out and we're getting all the behind the scenes tea tonight.
Yeah, for real.
Well, here's what happens, and it's sad, but it's like, okay, so we're putting whatever. You only have 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
So we have to put whatever in that hour that makes sense. But what happens behind the cameras, we're hardly ever involved in. Some of it I was because I was friends with everybody, but think about a show where they don't know the producers, right? So the producers go home at night, they're showering with their husbands, and they're watching their little kids, and they don't give a fuck about the show that they just produced, right? Now I'm the producer that knows everything and all these people, and they're like coming at me like, this one said that and that one said this, but I try to be as neutral as I possibly can, but sometimes it's hard, right? So there are times when it's like, okay, we know what's going on. Can we make TV out of this, or can we just sweep it under the rug, you know?
Well, again, it brings it back to no one knew how to separate work, which was television, and real life. Work and television collided, and that's why there was so much on-camera, off-camera bullshit. Who had what to say about you? Who didn't like the way you were doing it?
Yeah.
It's really, it's the reality of what it was.
Right. And when we had Karen on the show, and she was saying that a lot of the stuff that she was hearing behind the scenes influenced how she was acting when the cameras rolled.
Exactly.
So she heard that this one said this about her. So when she went into that scene, she went in aggressive, and everyone was like, but why is she so aggressive? But they didn't know what she was being fed behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, me too. It's the same thing for sure.
it's a catch-22.
So, Natalie, are you one of those who blame the producers, who blame the production, or you now just like take it at face value? You know what it was, it is what it is, and here we are today?
Yeah, I know what it is. I know what it was. Like, you can't control the other castmates. I remember I was laying at home in the funeral parlor watching TV. I had my son next to me with my dog. I'm watching TV. All of a sudden, my phone starts blowing up. And Renee puts out a comment, oh, prayers out to Natalie. She's in the hospital for a meth overdose. It was like 4:30 in the fucking morning. I was like, is she out of her fucking...
When was this?
This was when we were filming.
I don't.
Oh my God.
It was 4:30 in the morning. I'm watching TV. My son's dead asleep. I'm with my dog watching TV in the funeral home. And I get fucking tweets. I was like, this motherfucker she's out of her mind. This is when she hated me. She was just there was just so much shit that was just egged on social media.
I know.
that others just did. And then that's why everyone came in so hot.
Yeah.
Like everyone, because I'm responding. I'm going to tell you to go fuck yourself. And I'm probably going to fucking talk shit about every fucking one you ever known in your life. And then you just get into a fight in person.
We always joke and we say that Twitter was the fifth wife.
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
Mob Wives. Because it was so insane back then. You know what? The reality stars now are so lucky that like Twitter isn't what it was. Because
my
that
God.
shit was
For sure.
crazy.
Yeah, Twitter was unhinged.
So here's my question. Did you ever blame me? And it's okay if you can be honest, because everyone else did, so you might as well have too.
I didn't for anything because you were really I've never really seen you. Like you were never there. I always dealt with the other producers. Like, so for me, it was like being a part of having ADHD, it's like out of sight, out of mind. Like you don't exist until I see you type of a thing. So that's what that was. I didn't blame anyone but the people doing it.
Right.
You know?
Well, for the first 3 seasons, I was there a lot and every day, right? But I couldn't be at every scene every time. But regardless, because all of my friends were like, it's her show, it's her fault. But by the time you came on, the show was running itself. I wasn't there, and I didn't know as much as I did going behind the scenes and being there. But I couldn't control it even when I was there. You know what I mean? They all had a life of their own, a mind of their own, an anger of their own. And there was nothing I could say to stop it, control it. And I did whatever I could, like on the episode to mitigate it. But like you said, we can only air what they gave us. So if you're not saying this about this person, how the fuck is VH1 going to say we have to air that? And if you're not punching this one in the face, how is VH1 going to say we have to air that? So it's a catch-22, I'm just like trying to figure out and kind of clear the air on what is right and who handles what, because I did get a lot of blame. And that bothers me too, because I never set out to hurt people, but I also knew we had to make TV, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you were doing your job. That was your job to do. You know, you brought everyone's together. Now it's a fucking free for all.
Right.
You gotta make what was given to you at that point, because at the end of the day, it's not like you came with a script and say, hey, you're gonna be this person, you're gonna be that person, and let's go.
Right.
You know?
Everyone had a mind of their own, and ego. I think ego, camera, and what this person back home is going to think if I don't attack that person the way that they think I should. It all came into play. And for more so from mob wives, because as a mob wife, you're supposed to be tough, you're supposed to be strong, you're supposed to represent a certain type of persona. And so it was like extra. Like if I'm a housewife, sure, I'd be like, not me, but people would be like, I just make tea and crumpets. Like, I don't have to fight this way. You know what I mean? So it was like extra and harder, and everyone went that much more beyond. And it was a lot. That's all I'm trying to say is it was a lot.
It was just like there was something new going on every day. It was like, what? Like, you look at your phone, like, what? Like, what is happening? Like, it was a ride for sure.
Well, glad to know you'll come back. I'll let you know when we're doing it again.
Chaotic. That's crazy.
What do you have to say about all this, Antonia?
I just can't believe after all that shit you went through, you'd still come back. That's so crazy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, it's still a show. And people, regardless, people like miss it. People like want it back. And it's like, I'm sure everyone is probably like, what are they doing now?
Yeah.
Let's see how they, you know?
Yeah.
I had a girl come up the other day. Oh my God. She was like, oh my God, I watched Mob Wives when I was little. I'm like, fucking like what, 7, 8 years ago? What are you talking about? Like little. And she was like 20, like 22. I'm like,
when they say that to me, I'm like, where was your mother? She should never have let you watch that show.
It was fun. Fun times.
That's
it was, I always, despite what happened, like all the drama, I really did enjoy filming. I had a lot of fun doing it. I really did. It was fun. It just wasn't fun filming fucking one scene all day long.
It's a once in a lifetime experience, and I feel like it's cool and it's nice to be a part of it, you know, looking back now, when you're able to just really separate the two, and I like that about you.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed. You've come a long way. Although I'm glad, no, honestly, because sometimes Renee still harbors a lot of the hatred and feelings from back then, right? But in other cases she doesn't. But it seems like you just was like, it happened, it's over, so be it. I learned from it, and if we do it again, I'm going to do it differently.
For sure.
And that's the attitude that you should have.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
The attitude you should have. Natalie, tell us everywhere that we can find you. Shamelessly plug yourself. Tell everyone on the podcast all your handles.
Well, it's NatalieEliseBeauty.com is my makeup line, and my handles are Natalie E. Guercio, but I'm sure if you type up Natalie Elise Beauty, it will pop up as well.
Love that.
TikTok, Instagram.
And if you're in Miami and you're trying to party till 7 a.m., you go to fucking 11, you ask for her, and you better drop motherfucking bands, bitch.
7 a.m. Isn't 11 open
Please
24 hours?
Up 24/5 right now. We're open 24/7 right when the residents in the hotel open up.
Oh, wow.
So right
Love
when it opens,
that.
yeah, we'll be open for 7.
That's
For
sick.
sure.
Wow. I can't wait to come visit you. I do
know.
Miami every February.
Please do. We'll have so much fun.
I know. Now I'm excited.
It's a lot. It's
You'll
a lot of
actually
fun.
get me out because I usually don't go out.
Yeah, we went to Miami. This bitch was in. She was in sleeping by 11 o'clock. I was out booby trapped till
Oh,
I
6:30
told you
in the
she's
morning.
100 years old.
What do you mean? No,
I
you
literally
gotta.
saw-
No.
they
You gotta
were
take a nap. You gotta take a nap.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain to her that you don't go out of Miami till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, like midnight. like people go out to eat like 8, 9, 10, 11, and then midnight they go out. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I love it. I love it. Natalie, it was a pleasure.
Yes,
I
next one we're doing
enjoyed
in
this,
person.
and I hope the next time we're sitting face to face.
100%.
It'll be so much more fun too.
Yes, the energies. We
Pop
love
that,
it.
we'll pop a bottle of champagne over there.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll bring it. Well, we'll buy it when we get there. We'll come down to Miami for sure.
Would love that.
Perfect.
And make sure you tell
Guys,
London we said hello.
I will.
Yeah,
I
let
will.
London know we're rooting for him. And I'll make sure that I let him know he smells delicious when I meet him.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
Bye. See you.